Coach, thank you for joining us on the call today. If you take a minute to tie up the win against UCLA, please. Maybe a word or two about Riley's performance and Anthony's performance for their recognition, and then what you'd like to see Saturday as you come back at home to face Southern Illinois, please.
Yeah, obviously we're excited about being 2-0. It was a great game, great atmosphere, wonderful showcase for our program, our community, and everything that we have going on here in Memphis, on Saturday. And so, I was proud of the team effort. I thought that offensively, guys went out and played at a high level. A lot of explosive plays. It was a game that went back and forth. We were down by 10. We were up by 10. I think there were 7 different lead changes within the game. Our defense really responded late in the game. Had a interception return for a touchdown. Had a big interception. In the fourth quarter, and then obviously the game sealing stopped there at the end, which I was just really proud of our football team. I think they displayed great heart, character. Played extremely hard for 60 minutes, and it was a wonderful Saturday. And now we get to move forward here this week, and have an opportunity to go to. Being back at home, have an opportunity to finish the non-conference schedule. With one of our goals is to be undefeated in non-conference, and so we're going to get that opportunity here on Saturday. So it's homecoming, and a big week for our football team.
Any questions for Coach Norvel, please star 1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue. Then the operator will introduce you.
We'll go to Brian Moss, TigerSportsReport.com.
Hey, Coach. Congrats on the win. When you look back at the film, what are some things that you did a lot of things that were good? What are some things that you want to improve on when you take a look at that game film?
Yeah, I think when we went back and watched it, that was probably one of the things that as a coaching staff, we're excited that we were able to get the win, but there were a lot of mistakes that we had to clean up. So a lot of room for improvement. We turned the ball over, a few times offensively. One of them being a miscommunication. The other just on a routine exchange that can't happen. We dropped some balls. Didn't convert as well on third down as we'd like to. Some things that, just overall offensively got to do a better job of executing in those situations. Defensively, really came down to communication. We were misaligned, on a couple of the big runs that they had. We're bad with our eyes on a couple of plays that they were able to hit over the top. But, those things are going to happen at times. There's going to be times that you get beat again when you're playing a top-notch opponent. And, the thing that we've got to do is we've got to make sure that we're getting our communication, we're getting our alignments, we're putting ourselves in the best position to be successful each and every play. And so we've got a lot to learn from that game, and definitely a lot of area for us to grow, on both sides of the ball. That I know our kids are looking forward to the challenge and in their progression.
If you could talk about tight end Joey Magnifico, it seems like each week he's playing more of a prominent role in your offense.
Yeah, I thought Joey had a really nice game. Him and Sean Dykes, both made plays that impacted the game, and that's a position that we take a great deal of pride of, and that hybrid tight end, H-back position, and I thought both of those guys really came out and played at a high level. Joey had, I think, 6 catches for over 80 yards, some key third down conversions, and then he did a really nice job for us in the run game, and so that's something that he's young. He's a redshirt sophomore. Played some last year behind Daniel Montiel, but he's really grown in his performance and his overall understanding of the offense. And I'm excited about what the future holds for him.
If you could talk about the offensive line, it just seems that they're improving, leaps and bounds every week. What can you expect from them going forward?
We want that continued progression. I thought they did a nice job, really I thought in our pass protection was one of our better games that we've had since we've been here against a quality opponent and a really good defensive line. I thought those guys held their own, and then we were able to establish some things in the run game, especially there late. We had the big run early to open the game, but then as the third and fourth quarter got there, really got back in a rhythm and was able to create some seams, and especially there in the fourth quarter, put together a couple drives that were able to eat up the clock and put us in position to win the game. So really pleased with those guys and what they've done, and and looking forward to their continued progression.
All right, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Brian.
We'll go next to Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com.
Good afternoon, Coach. How are you?
Doing well, Dan. How about yourself?
Doing well. To go off of, obviously, you've been speaking about the victory, just the importance of a win like that, what it does for the program, what it does for the school and the community. A victory like that against a Pac-12 team with UCLA and one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Yeah, it was great. We talked all week about the to our team that one game was not going to define our season, but one game could be remembered, and that was a big game because it was a showcase game. We didn't hide that. We knew we were going to be playing on national TV. We knew there would be a lot of eyes watching, so we got the opportunity to show the country, a little bit about what Memphis football's, all about, and where we're going and the players that we have. We're excited about it, and we were excited about going out there and being able to perform and to get a win that was, obviously very exciting for us. But at the end of the day, we're 2-0, and that's where we wanted to be. But we've got a long way to go, and we've got to build off of it, and learn from the mistakes that we've made, and everybody's excited about being able to move forward and continuing to improve.
When you put yourself in these non-conference situations for the American Athletic, obviously the conference is strong, but you want to challenge yourself outside of it. To have the challenge is one thing. To win that challenge is another thing. Just what you can say about not just Memphis this year, but, since you came in and even before that with the team that you inherited, just the work that these gentlemen have put forward and what they've done to Memphis football to really put it on the map and what you've worked to do to continue that.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity anytime you play those national games, and I think when you look at our conference, the way that we've played and the way that we've shown in those games has been extremely well, and and our conference is a challenging conference. The quality of the teams that we play each and every week is phenomenal, and as you look at the non-conference schedule, we're very aggressive in how we schedule and the teams that we're gonna play. And when you have an opportunity to play a top 25 opponent and to get a win and to show everybody the quality of the teams and the players that are in this league, it definitely bodes well for everybody involved in the American Conference and each individual university.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
And we'll get one more for Coach Norvel, please.
We'll go to Todd Hefferman, the Southern newspaper.
Hi, Coach. When you watch Jonathan Cook, how does he keep that secondary together as a player?
Yeah, John is a guy that I'm really pleased with, and I think has played at a high level. He is a senior. He's led our team in tackles in his junior season, and I've seen a great deal of maturity in him and his progression to this season. He's doing a phenomenal job of communicating. He's obviously a very talented young man. He was all over the field there Saturday and made a lot of quality plays for us, and not only in the run game but also defending passes and challenging receivers. So John's a guy that I think has a very bright future in front of him, and excited about the progressions I've seen from him.
And you've played two fairly different teams, and you have a little bit more time in between games. How do you keep improving on defense taking into this next weekend?
Yeah, just continuing to work on the fundamentals, the little details, making sure that we're communicating properly, making sure that, that on every single play we've got 11 hats, doing their job and doing it with a violent nature. And, I like what I've seen from our defense, going against the offense we just played, was one that was probably came into the game as efficient, in the last 5 quarters of their play as anybody in the country. And our defense, there were some things that we gave up, but really responded when the game was on the line and challenged and made some plays that greatly impacted that victory. And so I was really proud of what I saw from them. And we know that we have to continue to get better. We have to continue to grow, but I'm excited about the groups that we get to work with.
Thank you.
Coach, thank you for joining us today. Look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
Thank you.